Guys, good morning and welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, December 5th, 2018. Let's get the charts open and take a look at what's going on in the markets. First thing we want to take a look at is cryptocurrency. And it's 38.24 today. It's barely holding its own. It gives you the feeling like it's going to go down to and set a new low. But I just don't. I have to tell you, cryptocurrency is such a. It's a market that's hard exactly to get it exactly right, and sometimes because she can move up and move down so fast. I mean, it's just. Let's take a look at the 30-minute here. Let's go back to the 12-hour and take a look. We've seen an awful lot of selling in this market. It's definitely, we got to say that the bubble's been burst in cryptocurrency, but and we've seen a market sell-off just recently. It's just fell off a cliff, but it might have a bit further to go. I don't know. It's in this bottom-making process anyway, and it's going to stop making a bottom at a certain point. I can't tell you exactly how low it'll go, but boy, does that ever present a buying opportunity as she moves lower and lower. So anyway, that's what's happening in the cryptocurrency world. Let's take a look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations real quick before we move on. And we're looking at 124 billion. Boy, that's taken a bite out of it. It was 200 billion just a few days ago. 124 billion. Bitcoin dominance 54%, and all the coins are in the red and moving down. Doesn't look good right now for cryptocurrency, but you know, it's going to bottom out, it's going to turn around, and it's going to start to creep back up again. That's what's going to happen. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average today. What we have is yesterday's news. The Dow Jones was down 799 points yesterday. Now, it's not so much how much the Dow Jones is down right now that's concerning me. It's this volatility. The market's preparing for something big. If you go all the way back here, the whole thing, and you don't see that volatility anywhere. All of a sudden, you see this jig. Look at it. Look at this massive volatility. It's started in January. Up, down, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight. It's almost like on those charts that they keep earthquakes, you know. And when they get an earthquake, the thing goes zig, 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 zig across the chart. That's almost what it's like. It's like an earthquake in the market. Didn't have that for the longest time under quantitative easing, and even when they started tightening, we didn't have that. We're getting that now. Not tightening, but I mean even when they start tapering, we didn't get that. We're getting that now that we have tightening, and now that we're into the advanced tightening of the Fed. It's definitely the tightening that's causing that volatility in the market. And we're in uncharted territories right now with the Fed's tightening program. Nothing like this has ever been tried before, and they don't know exactly what's going to happen. Now, there's a reason why the markets are closed today. It took me a little bit of time to find this. I was like, why is the markets closed today? I was like, this is weird. You know, what the heck's going on? So I found out the U.S. stock market is closed in honor of former President George H.W. Bush. Now, I got big questions about this. They don't close the market. I mean, an awful lot of people die out there. They never close the markets. Why it's the connection? Why do they close the market? When Bush dies, when they don't close the market, I've never heard of them closing the market. If they start this as a new tradition of closing the market when somebody important dies every single day, and they never have the market open. I mean, I just don't get this. Why are they closing the market today? Is there some other reason why they're closing the market today? And they're using this as a cover for why? Maybe because I don't know. There's just something isn't, just something about this. It's just, I'm not getting it. You know, I'm not getting it. Anyway, that's what it says there. I'm going to read what it says. U.S. stock markets closed in honor of George Bush today. And so anyway, that's what I'm reading there. So that's why they say in the markets are closed today. I'm always suspicious of them starting a banker holiday or something, maybe on a Friday night or something, but this isn't Friday or anything. This is Wednesday. So they'll have to open the markets tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I mean, you never know. This is a weird world we live in, and an awful lot of things that blindside you. You don't see it coming, blindside everybody. But this is kind of just weird, and I'm not exactly sure what it means. Anyway, let's take a look now at Sweet Light crude oil. $53.55. And we've got a little bounce on the end here, but look at this slide down in price. Massive slide down in price. It almost looks like a kiddie slide at the amusement park, And a little bounce up at the end. But anyway, I guess the United States is causing overproduction in the crude market. They've increased their production tremendously. And the OPEC doesn't really want to cut more than 1 million more barrels a day off of their production, because that means that the United States is going to get a bigger share of the pie. If they cut production, it means they're not selling that oil they cut production on, and the United States is increasing all they want and selling massively. And so whoever sells, of course, gets that money, even if it is a lower price, And so they're all competitive to sell because, Saudi Arabia needs money, and they're going behind. And they want to sell their oil. And they don't want... they're caught in a catch-22 because if they don't cut production, prices will continue to slide. If they cut production, it means they're not going to be selling as much of their own oil. And so it's just a bad situation for oil producers, as far as that. But they've had things too good for too long, way too good for too long. They deserve a little bit of a something or another to lower prices or whatever. You know what I mean? Let's take a look at silver prices today. Silver is boring today. It's not really going much of anywhere. What we're seeing is $14.48. It's down 3 pennies, but it's right in the middle of this range that it's been setting now for weeks. And it tried to break out down into the lower side of this range before, but now it's back up into the middle of this range around $14.50. And it's just riding along there, Let's take a look at gold. Gold is doing the same thing, $1,235 an ounce. It's down to $2.20 on the day. Let's take a look at bonds, the bond market. Seeing extensive selling in the bond market. This tells me that there's an awful lot of fear. The fear is starting to come into the marketplace. But what they're turning to, they're actually swimming in the wrong direction, the whole bunch of them. And they're going into these bonds. And don't they realize the United States is bankrupt? Basically, they just haven't declared it yet. So they're going into these bonds that are only as good as the United States' ability to pay them, and the United States will never default. They can't default. They're going to have to go into paying off their debt and by making more money. And basically what that is you've got the lender of last resort and you've got the borrower of the last resort. The borrower of the last resort is the government, and the lender of last resort is the Federal Reserve. And they're just going to keep this game going in the end until the dollar's worth zero. They've chiseled away 97% of the dollar's value since your grandparents' time. Your grandparents had tremendous buying power. Your dollar's basically only got a few pennies dollars buying power compared to what it had back then. In other words, just for 3 or 4 pennies, they could buy what you buy for $1 now. Back then. And they're on their business right now to destroy the last 1 or 2% of the dollar. The last little bit will go pretty quick. And this is the motivating force is push cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin up to the price it is today. $3,800 for a Bitcoin. This Bitcoin's nothing but a bit of air. Why would it be worth $3,800? You know, unless something's wrong mechanically with the financial system. Something's very wrong. Let's take a look at the dollar today. She's the best pig in the trough, you know, and there she is at 97.13. She's riding high, and people are investing in the dollars. They're going into dollars. They're going into dollars right now, and they're going into U.S. Treasuries. They're scared. They're looking for a safe haven, and they think the dollar U.S. Treasuries is the best place to go. Ultimately, they're going to have to cash out of that. And they're going to have to get into they're going to have to get into the right asset classes, which is gold and silver and possibly cryptocurrencies. We'll have to wait and see. The verdict is out on cryptocurrencies just yet. I got some new news on cryptocurrencies I'm going to have on my other channel. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this market report, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye, guys.